Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Choda with Ignition Time. In this video, I'm going to give you the latest status, some new information about the status of the stimulus negotiations. I'll talk to you about some executive actions that the president is considering, some new executive actions in addition to the 4 executive actions that the president already took over a month ago. And I'll give you some information that has just come to light that has not yet been reported in the mainstream media about exactly what type of executive actions the president is considering. My name is Dr. Nitin Choda. Thank you so much for making our channel, the Ignition Time channel, one of the fastest growing channels on YouTube for personal finance, for politics and current affairs, for stimulus news and unemployment benefits. We really appreciate if you learn something new. Please consider clicking the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you because I think I don't want you to be misled. I don't want you to be given false hope. And I know that there are a lot of other channels on YouTube that, all they talk about is the next stimulus. I'm going to be straight with you because I think you can handle it. The chances of a second stimulus check and the chances of enhanced unemployment benefits, just like we had the $600 a week federal booster that expired at the end of July, are becoming smaller and smaller every single day. Now, here's why I say this. The administration and the Republicans are not coordinated internally because there are 20 Republican senators who want no further stimulus. On top of that, the administration, the White House lead negotiators, Mark Meadows and Steven Mnuchin, even though they want a deal, they still haven't come to any kind of a consensus about a potential package. There are some areas of agreement, but they are still very far apart on key issues. In fact, the state and local aid is a big sticking point, and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is simply not budging. In fact, you'll see this article on your screen from the Washington Post, which reads, White House looks at more executive actions as the pandemic talks appear finished. Despite the rhetoric, neither party is showing any urgency to compromise. Now, just so that we are clear, the Senate is going to vote on, and most likely they are going to pass a bill they're going to pass a skinny bill that contains certain provisions which I've already covered. $300 federal unemployment benefit extension, the extension of the Paycheck Protection Program, liability protection for businesses against lawsuits related to the pandemic, and so on and so forth. But this does not include aid for state and local governments. This absolutely does not include a second stimulus check. In fact, if you saw the rather sharp response in my previous video from Senator Chuck Schumer, you'll know that the Democrats are having none of this. They want something comprehensive. They are going to, in fact, they've already rejected. They said this skinny bill is toast. They've already rejected this. Keep in mind that the Senate can introduce what they want, but again, unless the bill is debated on and voted on by the Democrats, it's not going to go to the president's desk to become law. That's just the way our system is. So the chances of a stimulus deal are becoming smaller and smaller. Now, if anything changes, I will report it to you. Of course, I want there to be a stimulus deal. If something changes, you'll be the first to know. But just because a stimulus bill is introduced by the Republicans does not mean that it'll become law and it'll be signed by the president and it'll become money. It'll be cash in the bank for you. I know we need quick cash now. I know everybody needs money right now because, we've lost our jobs and people need money. People need cash to be able to pay their bills. But at this point, if you want money now, you're going to have to re-engineer your skills. If you want money now, you're going to have to consider starting a business, which is why I'm going to introduce a new series on our channel called The New World of Money. I'm going to teach you how to start a business. I'm going to teach you how to incorporate your business. I'm going to teach you how to start an e-commerce store. I'll teach you how to become better at managing money. So make sure you click like, you subscribe, and you enable notifications on our channel. By the way, if you don't know anything about me, my name is Dr. Nitin Choda. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream, and I want to help you live your American dream. So keep that in mind. Now, as we look at the current state of negotiations, and by the way, I'll give you some information about what the president is considering in terms of executive actions. The president did talk about $300 billion lying around. I'll give you some more information about that as well. Information that has previously not been reported. I'll tell you that. But first, let's just quickly recap the state of the current stimulus negotiations. The Senate is poised to vote on Thursday on a slender bill that's almost certain to fail, and the chances for a bipartisan deal are almost, I would say, almost negligible right now. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said today, Democrats just point fingers, call names, and keep blocking American families from getting any more help before the November election. Unfortunately, this is the rhetoric that we are seeing from both sides right now. I did give you detailed comments from Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, and he's not supportive of this entire thing. In fact, Steven Mnuchin, who has been essentially a supporter of further stimulus, who's been essentially the voice that's trying to bring everyone together. Keep in mind that the Democrats, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has specifically said she prefers dealing with Steven Mnuchin as opposed to Mark Meadows, because House Speaker Pelosi and Mark Meadows are not best friends. I promise you. They're not having they're not having any fun talking to each other. This is what Steven Mnuchin said today. He said, "I don't know. We'll see." When he was asked whether a bipartisan deal was possible, he said, "I hope there is. It's important to a lot of people out there." And Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell similarly echoed what can at best be described as a sentiment where he wasn't sure what's going to happen, a sentiment with very little hope. He said, "Well, I don't know. I hope that's not the case," when he was specifically asked if Congress would pass a bill. But listen, every day that goes by, it seems more and more likely that Congress will adjourn without passing new stimulus relief all the way through the election. I don't want to report this to you guys. I don't want to report this to you, but I have to be honest and I have to give you the actual news, because I don't want you to be misled by other sources. And here's what Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said, that he would like to see the stopgap spending bill, which is the extension of the government funding bill, last into December. But, it seems that they're still discussing some aspects of that as well. By the way, one of the things going around in the news cycle today are all the revelations from Bob Woodward's book about President Trump. And there are some really big revelations about President Trump and about what President Trump said and what Bob Woodward has, and recorded interviews of the president. And if you want me to cover that, type out in the comment section below. And please don't freak out about the red or the blue. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. For me, this is about our country. This is about the presidency. Now, if you want me to cover Bob Woodward's book and his revelations from the book, which includes information based on recorded interviews with the president, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to break it down for my viewers and subscribers. And so let me know about that. Now, let's talk about the $300 that President Trump bought up and said that he wanted to, and the president alluded that he wanted to use that money. Basically, President Trump floated the redeployment of $300 billion in unspent funds in an account that was originally set up through the CARES Act. Now, the president was referring to what's called as the Economic Stabilization Fund, which was created by Congress in March, which was intended to be loaned to distressed businesses, but a lot of that money has not yet been distributed, according to people who have knowledge about this and who reported this to the Washington Post. Now, President Trump did suggest that he may be able to use this money without authorization. By the way, it's not clear how the president can do it without authorization. Let's be clear about that. The president, to the best of my knowledge, will need approval from Congress to distribute these funds. And so the president said that his preference was to have Congress sign off on funds moving forward. Now, this is causing unnecessary confusion. The president can hope to do whatever he wants, but he's going to need approval from Congress for major funding decisions. Exactly where the lines are drawn, I guess we'll find out. But the president tried to have it both ways. He said, hey, I want to provide these funds, but B, I want approval from Congress. So the president is sort of setting things up so that if these funds are not distributed, he can blame Congress. But the fact is, these funds require an act of Congress, will require the House and the Senate to take some action on these funds, to the best of my knowledge. So this is what President Trump said. He said, we have $300 billion in an account that we didn't use, and we are willing to use that. Again, there is going to be some support from Congress as required by the president. He said, I think there is a theory that I could do it without having to go back to Congress, but I think it would be appropriate to go back and I would ask Congress to approve it. Now, Stephen Moore, who's an outside economic advisor to the president, has pushed for the White House to go ahead and redistribute that money without congressional approval, but it doesn't seem that that's going to be possible without congressional approval. And Stephen Moore said that the president told him that the administration faces resistance to these ideas from attorneys at the Treasury Department, because the Treasury Department, which is a part of the government, will have to distribute these funds. So the Treasury Department can't just take funds from anywhere and distribute it to people. This as far as I know, will require an act of Congress, and a spokeswoman for the Treasury Department declined to comment. And so what Moore said is they're trying to figure out what they can do legally, what authorities they have, and there are differences of opinion. The president would like to do a flurry of economic orders that would jumpstart the economy. Now, speaking of economic orders, you'll see this tweet on your screen from Jeff Stein, a reporter at the Washington Post. He wrote that top White House officials studying a potential set of executive orders 2.0. By the way, this is what has not yet been reported in the mainstream media. If talks with Congress collapse again, guess what? Talks have already collapsed. Here's what they are considering in a second set of executive orders. Aid for airlines, because airlines are laying off workers by the tens of thousands. Money for school vouchers. Money to replenish the unemployment program, and something for payroll taxes. The president has been a big fan of waiving payroll taxes. Here's another tweet on your screen from Jeff Stein. The president wants to do more executive actions, but is coming up against the law. He's faced resistance from attorneys at Treasury, outside advisor Stephen Moore. And this last line is significant. President is widely seen by people close to the administration as wanting to send out checks 2.0 before the election. If the president is trying to use $300 billion in unallocated funds to send out stimulus checks right before the election, he's going to get resistance from the Democrats, because the Democrats will say that this is an attempt to sway voters before the election. I don't want my viewers and subscribers to put too much hope into this, because the president, the way he sort of phrased it is, hey, I wanted to allocate 300 billion, but I didn't get support from Congress. Guess what? Congress isn't going to support him to do this, because Congress, meaning the House and the Senate. So Congress, House specifically, let's talk about the House because it's controlled by Democrats. They aren't going to do anything unless it's a large bill. So the president has sort of interjected this in there to try and make it seem that he wants to help. Whereas in reality, the president kept the door open to say, hey, I may not be able to use these funds because of Congress. So I don't want my viewers and subscribers to have false hope. Whether the president can actually do this or not, we'll find out, because I'm not a lawyer. But I will tell you this, that Congress is an important part of this. And if they aren't voting, then the president can, have whatever intentions he wants, but it's not going to go anywhere. And then I don't want my viewers and subscribers to have any false hope. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Choda. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. Definitely check out my introductory video on our channel. I want to help you lead your American dream, because I'm the beneficiary of American exceptionalism and of the generosity that exists in our country. I will help you lead your American dream. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. So please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications so you get instant updates from us going forward. Now, sometimes YouTube does not send out notifications. So make sure you bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time, so that you can come to our channel and you can watch the videos whenever you want. You don't have to be dependent on the YouTube notifications. Follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Follow us on Instagram because we release fun and engaging content on Instagram specifically for our followers. Now, you can also get on our SMS alerts list. Get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000. So you can get on our SMS list and you can opt out of our SMS at any time. Also, you can get on our email list. Go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts. And you can get on our email list. You can opt out of our SMS list or our email list at any time. Once again, my name is Dr. Nitin Choda with Ignition Time. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications because it helps out the YouTube algorithm. It motivates me and my team because we work hard, we work overtime to bring you this information in real time. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thanks. Bye.